Good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Bar, and we're here to discuss some goddamn wrestling. Hope all of you are having a great one. Have you catch this whenever you catch this. Now, understandably, your boy's a little behind, all right? I apologize for that. Now, 96 hours for anything is way too fucking long in my book, but I unfortunately went a little over 96 hours. So, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be shotgunning every single thing up until Raw, all right? Because Raw and Double or Nothing are the only things I kind of care about. You know, we will be touching on Dynamite, but along with Dynamite, we have 4 other videos to go. Very busy, very booked. All right, so let's run through this shit as quick as we can. Mello versus Trick was fine. Very simple premise, very hard to fuck up. But of course, they did with Ricky Saints and was it fucking like Joe Hendry or some shit? I don't even care. I don't even care who the fuck was on the sidelines. Very simple premise. Somehow they fucked this up. Not surprised. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all. That whole Sami Zayn and Cody segment, garbage. Throw it away. Garbage. Gunther needs that belt. Sorry, Cody. Hey, you done as much as you can, my guy, but like it's not there. It's not there anymore. At least I'm not feeling it personally. But maybe that's just me. You know, maybe that's just me being a bit of a stubborn jackass when it comes to this whole Cody Rhodes story. Shinsuke Nakamura went out there in his original gear and he lost. That was upsetting. Wasn't very happy about that. Also, this women's tag division, not good. It's not good. Jade Cargill is doing the best she can. Charlotte's doing the best she can. Why Rhea's out here? Why everyone's being relegated to, B team, JV. Why everyone's being like relegated to JV because Rhea's here. Don't know. A 1v1. Hey, that'll be fine, right? But I guess we're not deserving of that. Saturday night's main event with Becky and Sol Ruca. Dog shit. Wasn't very good. I haven't had a good 7 days, so excuse me if I sound a little, hoarse. This shit was horrible. It was bad. The finish was horrible. These fucking mid-card titles, man, I said it. You guys have been showing a lot of love on some of my recent videos. I really appreciate that. Like, really, honestly, very, very big shout out to you guys. You guys have been fucking awesome, right? But like I talked about this in my last video, these mid-card titles are doo-doo, nigga. Like, these shits are bad, bro. The women's IC title, the men's IC title, the men's United States title, the women's United States title, both of the tag team divisions. Ooh, man. The women's tag team, it's all bad. And this just proved my point even further, right? So Ruka, somebody who can get the job done. She's not a terrible promo work, right? She honestly could be a pretty competent brand ambassador if you push her enough, right? And you have her go out in this like sloppy DQ fucking, oh Christ. And maybe So Ruka needs a new finisher. A lot of people are saying that. I don't think it's that bad. Half of wrestling is suspending your disbelief. But I can definitely understand the criticisms that she's not exactly meeting everywhere else where, they are with their finishers. Like, the manhandle slam is very simple, right? Or even like, like to kind of go across the pond, if you would. Thekla, right? Thekla and her curb stomp with like the little spider thing and a spear. Those are very simple moves to execute. Maybe a little cookie cutter, sure. But you look at somebody like a Jamie Hayter, right? Which just, it's a lariat, right? It's a snapback lariat or like a snap rebound, whatever you would call that, right? These are very simple moves. And I think maybe So Ruka needs something like that in her arsenal. Maybe because this match was just fucked, man. It wasn't good. From the opening bell, it was interesting because So Ruka got off such good offense. And again, she moves very crisp. Her timing and her placements in that ring, very good. But I couldn't imagine booking this shit and going, yeah, have So Ruka just eat a DQ and push this shit to Clash in Italy. If they're even doing that, again, man, we have people back there like Roxanne Perez, Io Sky. You had niggas like Kairi Sane on your roster. Told her to catch a fucking hike, right? So we can keep doing more Maxine Dupree segments. Man, it's bad. It's fucking bad. Ethan Page and Penta. This ended the show, but honestly, Saturday night main event wasn't a lot, right? Ethan Page and Penta, they had a pretty okay match. It was fine. Most of my issue with this card is booking. It's booking heavy. Like, a lot of the booking on this is just bad. We're gonna get into this when we get into Raw. Also, you can kind of call this our weekly world report. Yeah, this wasn't good. It's not good booking. Hey, love Penta, but if we're not gonna do something with the Lucha Bros, or if we're not even gonna get somebody, I don't know, would y'all not like to see maybe a more traditional wrestler, maybe like a Chad Gable, go up against Penta? Maybe, and I understand they kind of already tried this. They've already tried that, idea, but I mean, like, you gotta get Chad somewhere, bro, because he is not going over on Ludwig in AAA. So now you have to ask ourselves, okay, so aside from Chad Gable, who is the best pound for pound person you could put with Penta right now? Don't say Javon Evans, because we're gonna get to that later. Maybe somebody like Kofi Kingston, maybe that's a whole nother can of worms, right? I just didn't like the booking for this. The match was fine, but it was lot to be desired. The tag team match between the Vision and the Street Profits. Again, what are we doing for the booking, man? Like, Montez and Angelo Dawkins have one of the bigger matches of their return, and they lose on account of Logan Paul just needing the rub, right? But hold on, spoiler alert, Logan Paul's now injured. So instead of calling an audible, are going, you know what, fuck it, man, just pull the trigger. We'll fix it if we need to, right? The wrestling gods literally turn their backs on this creative team, because now the winners of this, as clean or as dirty as you want to put it, is the Vision. We just in kayfabe, gave the Street Profits all that we could, quote unquote. The fuck is Adam Pearce gonna tell the Street Profits next week? Or there's nothing to say. Hey, we gave you a match, you lost. Unfortunately, Joe Hendry and Danhausen want to take a shot at the belt. It is what it is. Like, what are the Street Profits supposed to get after this loss? And to put some whipped cream on top of this, they lost to a guy who's injured. Like, this shit's cooked. This entire tag division cooked barbecue chicken. Oh man, it's not good, man. This shit's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. This was a tough one. This was definitely a tough one. We can even talk about Trick and Snme. Not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. We've seen this match already. This is now the third, maybe even like fourth time we're seeing this pair up. I'm not here for it, chat. Not here for it. Don't know what the fuck Sammy's gonna do, but they've written him into oblivion. Maybe he'll go to CMML. That's not me being silly. Like, I really do think there's a reality where in 2 or so years, Sami Zayn picks up that El Generico mask. I'm not kidding. Not kidding, is what it is, whatever. Trios match with Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley, Michin, B-Fab, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair. Again, in a perfect world, we're doing Charlotte versus Rhea, maybe in like a 3-month build to maybe a Jade versus Charlotte at maybe our SummerSlam, maybe, hypothetically, but we don't get that, it's fine. I didn't hate this match. This match was actually pretty good. It's pretty good, actually. It's actually probably one of my more preferred matches on the card. Jade Cargill, when she gets the opportunity and the production to work, she fucking works. And I wish more of you marks would recognize that, but it is what it is. Rhea Ripley, again, when she has a good, in the most respectful way I can say this, when she has a good chunk of meat to, be able to go up. I feel like when she has somebody of her build and her cut, right? Somebody who's cut from the same kind of cloth as her, it just makes for a very good match. I think that this pairing between these two, it's solid. It just needs more booking. Like, it needs more meat. Like, there's no meat on these bones, and I think that's my biggest problem. Even with this being a trios match, why? Who does that serve? Who does it serve? I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. We could also talk about very quickly the lack of emotion going into this Saturday night's main event, because it's almost certain that nothing was really going to happen, right? And then you pair that with just the kind of questionable booking with the rematches and this or that. Easy 5 out of 10. Saturday night's main event was not good at all. For the sake of chronological order, I will be getting to Double or Nothing for May 24th. Yes, for May 24th, 2026. I had a very interesting experience with this Double or Nothing. And it's not going to be very chronological. It's not going to be a chronological order at all. But I've seen a lot of really good shit. Like, a lot of very, very, very good shit from this pay-per-view. This pay-per-view is being very well received, which is awesome as well. I mean, everything I've seen from the Stadium Stampede, 5 stars immediately. That Leo Rush cameo. I think there was another cameo, like some guy named like Tony Impossible, and like he wasn't the good part, but I think it was like Tony Invincible, and then he got put down. There was some like massive fucking like Indian guy that that spooked Andrade. There was a Luchasaurus spot that was very, very funny. This was cool, man. This was cool. This is one of the cooler events that they put on in a very, very long time. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley did his fucking thing. This felt very AEW. This felt very like 2019, 2020. We're in our bag. We got the world wrapped around our fingers. Maybe even like 2021, where they were like kind of like white hot. You know what I mean? Like, this was good. Very, very good. We talked about the the FTR and Coke match. I loved that match. That match is very, very good. Stokely is a heel's heel. I'll always be down from him, eating shit. I definitely took down in my notes that this was an unction. It is an unction. That's fine. We can admit that it's an unction. Nothing to be upset about there. I can't lie. When Stokely got set on fire, that was very cool. I popped for that. Dax getting put in an Abigail like sharpshooter. I was like, fuck, you're too old for this, brother. Like some of these spots, I was like, y'all niggas is way too old for this shit. But it was fun, man. It was actually very, very fun, very cool. Christian saying, I banged your mother. The crowd playing into it. I loved it. A lot of good things from that match. We could talk about Okada versus Takeshita. We could talk about Okada versus Takeshita. Wrestling soulmates. No other way to fucking put that. I mean, they have a phenomenal match. Easy fiver, no questions asked. Maybe if you really want to be a stickler, 4.5. And a lot of people don't like the Japanese style of wrestling, man, but it is what it is, man. It really is what it is. Like, you can't try to run from the fucking reality that the wrestling landscape is changing, okay? And the fact of the matter is that more kids are knowing the names of people, like a Samoa Joe, of people of the ilk of a Daniel Bryanson, right? They're mentioning those names more than they're mentioning individuals with the style of a Macho Man, maybe individuals with the style of a Roddy Piper, right? And that's not because they're, completely unable to reach the heights of like a Daniel Bryanson or Samoa Joe or even like an AJ Styles, right? But that is the caliber of wrestler you need to be right now. It is an AJ Styles. It is an Ospreay, right? At times, maybe you want to switch up the style to something of the ilk of a John Moxley, which is more technical, but it still has that heart of modern wrestling. And the spirit of modern wrestling, it isn't athletic. Kind of, it is very athletic, and it was very funny, right? I was listening to Brian Alvarez. Shout out to everyone at the Wrestling Observer team. They're all great, very, very cool guys. He said, talking about a TNA pay-per-view with ODB and some insane, wacky situation, right? He said if you were to show somebody from another planet what wrestling is in all of its entirety, you show them this match with clowns and props and a fucking crowd spot and all this other shit, you wouldn't show them Okada versus Omega number 4, right? Because that would make them believe that it's an athletic bout, based on strength and determination. And it's funny to kind of hear it out loud, but he's right. Like wrestling is supposed to be this massive spectacle. It is supposed to be fun, right? So I think the atmosphere was very fun. It was very lively. Again, it was a very new style kind of match, but everything about this shit hit. Like, genuinely, everything about this match hit. I mean, we could even talk very briefly about the Rainmaker on the apron. The Rainmaker on the apron, all of the Rainmaker reversals. Like, this match was beautiful. It was fucking beautiful. The Kyle flip at the end. Man, this shit was good. It was good. Good fucking match all around. And honestly, I definitely think it was a good mood setter for the rest of the card, right? Because we have matches like Bandino versus Swerve. Amazing fucking match. We have, again, other matches like Moxley versus O'Reilly. Very, very good match in my humble opinion. Like, just good shit. Very, very good shit on this card. And again, being received very positively, which is always a plus for the dub. Shout out to Will Ospreay, Samoa Joe, Athena. This is amazing crowd. The Fatal 4-Way with all the women's champions, contenders was good. Good pay-per-view, man. Big shout out to the dub. All right, enough piss boing. Like, all right, enough pussyfooting around. All right, we are going to be discussing Raw for May 25th, 2026. Our time has come. We're here, boys. All right, I appreciate everyone's patience and again all the love and support you guys have been showing. Let's crack open this cold one as thoroughly as we can. Raw. It has a very, very interesting taste. Very interesting taste when you when you indulge in this meal, right? You expect maybe a finely seared sirloin steak, or maybe even a cut of crispy chicharron, maybe next to a bit of dirty rice and beans, something that really fills your gut, right? And they deliver to you on a gold diamond bedazzled platter, by the way. So much fucking money. Just an empty plate. And you gotta scratch your head and go, I didn't fucking order this. I ordered food. I ordered substance. But unfortunately, this company can't give you substance, right? There are positives. I do want to make that very clear, very transparent. There are positives about this night. I didn't hate the Rusev and Rey Mysterio match. I didn't hate it. Rey Mysterio looks like 2006 Rey. My humble opinion, he should have took that fucking leotard off a while ago, but it is what it is, all right? Made him comfortable. He wants to have a safe space. He can have a safe space. He's the GOAT, right? That match, aesthetically, it's great. It was fucking great, right? Rusev has never been a bad wrestler. Fact of the matter is what it is. I definitely think it's not Ray Phoenix, it's the other one, Dragon Lee. Yes, the Blue Eyes White Dragon Lee. His involvement wasn't bad. I think if we're gonna have a very, very dear heart to heart though, Rusev kills Dragon Lee. I think we all know that. So I personally feel like Ray has a better chance against Rusev just because he's more seasoned, more weathered. You know, like he knows how to operate with a nigga like Rusev. Because you got to think about this, right? This is just me kind of just like, you know, headcanon, kayfabe, whatever. Rey Mysterio went up against, you know, niggas of the like Snitsky and like Ezekiel Jackson. You know what I mean? Like those, like a Titus O'Neil. Like if you're catching my drift here, those were Rey Mysterio's like every other day opponents in the 2010s. So why the fuck would somebody like Rusev be a problem? Now when I look at How to Train Your Dragon Lee, now when I look at How to Train Your Dragon Ball Lee, unfortunately, you know, I imagine he has maybe some amazing matches or AAA, Lucha Underground, somewhere in New Japan, hypothetically, I'm not sure. It's a different ball game. I haven't seen him really wrestle somebody like that wasn't Gunther, and I think we all remember how that story ended, right? With him getting, you know, turned into a little chalupa on the tightrope. So I don't really know. I don't know what they're doing with Gunther. Oh, Gunther, Lord, look at me. I don't know what they're doing with Rusev and the mythical Dragon Lee. I don't know what's going on with that. But I mean, some people seem to be kind of entertained. But me, I'm not. I would be a lot more interested in Rey Mysterio versus Rusev. I mean, and this is weird, right? Because I hate to do this, because Dominic Mysterio shouldn't be in any story that he's not, you know, needed. We're getting to that later. Trust and believe we are. But if there's a story where Rusev like fucking kills Rey Mysterio, and that's the avenue where Dominic Mysterio puts on a mask, starts this anti-hero luchador kind of thing, and I've been pitching this for a year now, right? Like this has been something I've been running down for a minute, but I think the simple idea of Dominic Mysterio just, you know, strapping his boots up and going, no, I'm going to defend the Mysterio, like I'm going to defend the Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, why am I tripping up on these words? I will defend the Mysterio legacy, right? I will, simultaneously, through his legacy, be defending the Guerrero legacy. You know what I mean? Like, very, very kind of interesting character arc there. Everything I'm trying to say is that, like, you can work a story with Rusev and Rey Mysterio. It's not impossible. But where does it go after that? You know, do they even want to do something like that? Because we see how they're booking the U.S. title, where it's like, no, make it a three-way, make it a three-way. No, make it a three-way. No, make it a three-way. Because like, what? Just give them a fucking, 1v1 feuds used to exist in this company. They used to. Now they don't. It's a fucking shame. The Judgment Day are involving themselves in the women's tag division. Again, because Raquel Rodriguez doesn't need a U.S. title push. No, Roxanne Perez, an IC title push? You're fucking crazy. Tag team. Again, what's Liv Morgan doing? World title holder. Show's fucking horrible. This show sucks. This show is so bad, man. It's so fucking bad. You know what? I'll offer all of you a bit of an olive branch, right? Let's go back to the beginning. Let's just go all the way back to the start of this night. Paul Heyman comes out with no vision. You can't make this shit up. Paul Heyman puts Braun Breaker and Austin Theory, the only two healthy members of the division, by the way, in the cuck chair. He puts them in the chair in the hotel lobby and tell them, hey, sit out there for a good 2 hours. I'm about to go work my magic with Brock. Be back. I don't know what's going on, chat. I don't know what's going on. Listen, I assumed that these niggas would be taking the back seat ever since they started to bring back Brock. Why are they doing that at all? Again, a bunch of wrestlers who never got the chance to leave their shit in the ring. But here comes Brock. Fucking mess, man. This shit's a joke. This company is a joke. It's parent company. It's umbrella company, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's a fucking joke. All right. Holy hell. They're literally scamming you niggas. They are. They're scamming some of you niggas in this live audience. I'll be honest with all of you. Oba goes out there. Oba, he does his thing. Oba's great. But that entire new crop that came up from NXT is great. Melo has been good since his call up. I mean, you could look at people like Austin Theory, despite the injury, when he was on TV, healthy, paired up with Grayson Waller, over. Had this nigga sitting at ringside, over. Not a match wrestled. Listen, some people got it and some people don't. A lot of those NXT call-ups have had some semblance of it, right? Oba Oba tries to make the best of this segment, but then you flip it on his head. My nigga, is Oba really about to lose that Sunday in Italy? Maybe. Hey, make all the, oh, Brock doesn't care about this, Brock doesn't care about that. Listen, somebody very wise said, it's not that kind of company anymore where you can just drop your shit and go, hey, I'm done, my back hurts, champ. Don't know what to tell you. Hey, Hunter, I ain't the same guy I used to be. Figure it out. It's not that kind of company anymore, right? So him doing all those theatrics, it is like intentionally a little disrespectful to people, again, like a Misawa, who never got a chance to leave their stuff in the ring, you know? And that's all I can really think about when I think about Brock coming back with so much energy and so and so happy and so excited to, wrestle in this, to wrestle in this belt. But it's like, what about Oba in the first place made you even want to do that? Like, they haven't explained that. And I guess there was some little segment. Oh, he sat on a farm. He thought about it. Fuck that farm. Nigga, you got sent back to the farm. The last time you were in this ring, it was a loss. It was putting over what was supposed to be your replacement. And now we're here. And now the replacement's gonna get buried in Italy? Where they already got a bad history of not fucking with niggas. Oh, man. This shit's not it, yo. This shit's not it. I can't find a positive about this night. I can touch on the match. I can touch on the match between Javon and Penta. It was fine for what it was. Javon might actually be injured. That's not me being funny. He landed on his lower back, very awkwardly on that announce table, and he was holding it the entire match. He caught this fucking neck breaker from Penta. It's really nobody's fault, man. These guys know what they're doing when they go in there. They wipe their feet and they say their prayers, but bro, he got hit with a neck breaker on the back of his head, and I was like, fuck, that's not what was supposed to happen. There's no fucking way that shit was supposed. There's no way. No, quite literally no fucking way. How this match even happens, I think some kind of involvement. I think Ethan Page or some shit comes out. It's one of those. It's not a simple, hey, Javon just, hey, wasn't his night. No, it wasn't one of those at all. Javon, he got distracted somehow, or some shit happened with Javon. And basically after that, Javon found a very fun way to lose this match, by taking a pretty decent Mexican destroyer. But again, this match, it should have been Javon versus God knows who. Javon and Powerhouse. You know what? These are the matches that we should be slotting up for this IC title, instead of just Penta. What about the new cats? Fuck the new cats. Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. Y'all want to see that? Psh, what a bunch of schmucks. That's pretty much the energy. It's pretty much the energy that I'm getting from this. And again, the match is fine. It's not like a jaw-dropping match. It's a very good match. Very, very good match. But when you compare that to something like an MJF and Darby Allin, it's apples and steaks. We can kind of fast forward a bit through this night. Now there's Logan Paul injured, which kind of sets up the whole face versus face thing in the main event of this night. But we are most likely going to see Braun Breaker actually touch those tag titles. So hey, listen, I said he needed a better tag partner than Bronson Reed or Logan Paul. I unfortunately meant everything I said. So, Austin Theory and Braun Breaker. Doesn't sound like a bad promo. Produced by the right nigga. Hey, produced by the right person. It's not a bad promo. Produced by the right person. It's not a bad match. Whoever you put him against, it's not a bad match. It could happen, chat. It could happen. I think we all can agree that they definitely should have pulled that world title and Braun Breaker trigger when they had the chance. But this company's filled with a bunch of pussies, and they're controlled by fucking TKO, halfway controlled by MAGA. It's a mess. It's a fucking mess. Our main event for Montez Ford and Seth Rollins. Crowd is very split. Obviously they were. Why wouldn't they be? Montez Ford and Seth Rollins have a very reasonable disagreement with each other, which again, in terms of booking, it's fine, right? Hey, you were running around terrorizing niggas. I was one of the niggas you was terrorizing. We not on great terms. Understandable. Angelo Dawkins is definitely taking the Thorfinn route of I have no enemies and we have no reason to make each other bleed. We've only just met, Shout out my nigga Thorfinn and all of Vinland Saga. Really good series. Just check it out. But Montez Ford is essentially just yo, I need that. I need my ones, right? Which is, again, the history of what division was doing to niggas. Fairs. That's fairs. That's fairs on Montez Ford. The chemistry, in my opinion, I kind of feel like it took a little bit to get there. I feel like it took just a little bit to get there. It did get there though. It definitely did get there. My humble opinion, I feel like him and Seth and Austin Theory maybe had a better synergy, but maybe that's just me being fucking crazy. I don't know. Montez Ford is great. Montez Ford is amazing. Again, that's an IC champion. That's it. Montez Ford is a fucking brand ambassador. That's somebody you put on Jimmy Fallon. That's somebody you tell to, go sing karaoke at Jimmy Kimmel with the big shiny IC belt. It is what it is. It's the fact of the matter. He's an amazing singles competitor. This match that he has with Seth, very, very good. Seth Rollins, one of those guys. Hey, one of those guys is what it is. Seth Rollins' story, little questionable, not really understanding what's going on there. But Seth Rollins, just as as the character, right? Somebody who is not going to back down from any challenge from anyone, face nor heel. Decent, definitely giving tweener vibes. I'm not really sure. Again, this is a face versus face. It's not like Seth in the corner of Montez while, he's giving uppercuts to fucking Austin or something. Again, because the Austin Theory and Montez Ford match, probably very good. Unfortunately, I'm getting into the weeds here. There was a lot of setups and a lot of reversals in this match that I liked. Again, the chemistry definitely picked up after a while. And again, Seth definitely goes, over, no surprise there. But Montez Ford looks very strong, looks very, very strong in the showing, eats a pedigree. I think it was a pedigree and a curb stomp, or it was a reversal and a curb stomp. Yes, it was a reversal into a curb stomp. Uno, dos, tres. And that was it. That was everything. Actually, no, was it a pedigree? Yes. Curb stomp, uno, dos, tres. And I was definitely impressed with, Montez Ford. This Raw was decent. It was decent. And it wasn't horrible, but even to touch briefly on the whole Jacob and Roman thing, right? They're the whole leave us. We have made a tribal agreement. It all just feels very half baked. Maybe that's maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the only person who feels like this, right? But again, let's go main event for main event. Are we going to compare whatever Cody Rhodes and Gunther is at Clash of Italy? Are we going to compare that to the main event of Double or Nothing? Is that fair? I don't think that's fair to the Fed. Listen, I think some of these collision matches are clearing Clash of Italy, and it's unfortunate, but it's just the reality of the matter. It is what it is. I'm not a big fan of the idea of Jacob going under. I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. My book has Jacob and Oba. That shit carries this company to the mountaintop. There's no fucking question about it. Any other WWE stooge trying to convince you differently that Oba versus Jacob is not primetime television, they're a fucking mark. They don't know what they're talking about, right? So I would like for this to go somewhere, but knowing this company, where is it going to go? Who is Jacob going to be lined up against? Is it going to be Power Keys? Are we going to do fucking House Keys versus the AAVE Werewolf? Is that what we're building to, chat? A tweener and a fucking other tweener? Because this company wants to do 50-50 booking? I respect you. Hey, I see all the hard work you put in. So when you lose this match, it won't be as difficult. And I'm even trying to really break down what them niggas was talking about in that ring on Monday. Why is Jacob sound like he's ready to accept defeat? That is weird. I'm really thinking about it in real time. The idea of Jacob not becoming the tribal chief, the idea of him not becoming the world champion. That shit wouldn't shock the waves of every single, wrestling site in the space right now. It literally shocked the landscape, right? Don't know. I think they're gonna do a Jacob a Jacob full heel turn. The Usos are gonna be yeah, yeet, we got you back. Yeet, this is so cool, Jacob. And then he's gonna turn on everybody. That's how I just feel like they're going to do. Because if they don't have Jacob win, there's nothing else they can really do with Jacob. They can't make him a subservient fucking werewolf. It didn't work with Solo. Actually, to be more specific, he was already that with Solo, and his character broke out of it. So everything about this Raw is not good, man. It's not good. There's good aspects, and there's decent qualities like Tez here, Javon there. Some of the women look great, booking aside. It's just very weird fucking show. It's very weird. Maybe I'm not alone in that. When you look at the booking, when you look at the women's tag division, when you look at the women's division period, It's questionable, man. It's questionable. I mean, hey, I can levy those exact same complaints against Tony Khan's women's division. You know, it is what it is. You know, and unfortunately, you know, if it's not fucking Stardom or WoW Wrestling, you know, my beautiful graps aren't being appreciated. Shout out to Eve as well, because Eve is a wrestling promotion that's strictly women. Shout out to my gals. But yeah, that was my wrestling spurt. That was everything. I listen, guys. Listen, I know. All right, please don't get the pitchforks and the fucking all right, and the torches. All right, I was delayed. I was late, but we got through it. All right. And a man of his word always keeps his promises. Okay, so that was all of the wrestling for the past 4 to 5 days. I will be getting to Dynamite and One Piece and Collision. All right, can't forget SmackDown. A lot of shit, a lot of things to talk about. All right, hope all of you have a great one, and as I always say, you all stay tuned, stay safe, stay beautiful. Peace.